Hey family, this is Q with Mixherbs. How everybody doing today? I just want to talk to you a little bit about don't move the Texas signs in California. They have these billboards up about don't move to Texas. I want to talk to you a little about Texas and a little about California. Being familiar with both, I want to give you some of the pros and cons to both cities. Before we get started, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and we're gonna dive deep into both moving to Texas and moving to California and about those billboard signs that say "Don't move to Texas." So let's get in it, family. So let's start off with Southern California with the sunshine, the like Los Angeles area. I've lived in Los Angeles area for like 3 years, and I ended up moving. But I enjoyed my stay while I was there, so I know a little about the area. I stayed like in the parts of, if you're familiar with some of your Los Angeles people, if you're familiar with Santa Clarita area, I was up in that area, and that's like what they call the valley. And the things that I noticed about different parts of California is pretty much what a lot of people say is the homelessness. A lot of people are homeless in that city in different parts. I mean, you can drive just anywhere in the city, and there's homeless people's pretty much everywhere. And in some other cities I've been, most of the homeless is isolated to one central area or for the most part, and that's kind of like that in the Los Angeles area with the Skid Row, but um, but not as much in particular California area. You would see homeless in pretty much the upscale parts of California, along with any other part of California. For us, the Los Angeles area, because I was in the Los Angeles County. So let's talk about that's some of the negative part about it. But I've went to like Calabasas area in the valley. What else? Thousand Oaks. You have Sherman Oaks. You have up and down. You can go down Ventura Boulevard to like Woodland Hills, Canoga Park, all in the valley. And then you got the Los Angeles area where you got South Los Angeles, and you have what is it, downtown LA, and you have what is it, Long Beach, along the beach, and Santa Monica. So I've been to all of those parts, and some of the good things about living in Los Angeles is, I would say, you have a lot to do. It's a variety of things to do every day, constantly. Tourists, you got the people who have been living there for years, you got people who moving in, moving out, and it's just a fun city to live in. And sunshine every day. You don't even have to look at the weather report if you don't want to, because most of the time you know it's going to be sunny and warm or hot. And you got the beach, you got multiple beaches, a lot of beaches. I mean, you can even go out to like Oxnard area. And the food, you got a variety of food places to go. You got Hollywood Boulevard, you got all the kind of amenities like the what is it, the attractions like the I think it's, what is it, Magic Mountain is out that way. You got the Lego land, and you got a lot of the amusement parks. I mean, it's endless amount of amusement parks. And then a lot of people don't know about California is they do have casinos. They just have the ones where they have the table games. You can play poker and stuff like that. They don't really have the slot machines going on like that as far as the general part of the Los Angeles area, because They have what you call it, Commerce Street, where they have a Commerce Casino. I don't know if it's still there. And then they had the Normandy and the different casinos, and you can go in there and play. And then you can you couldn't play the slots, but you could do poker and do stuff like blackjack, different things like that. And so a lot of people don't know even about that, that you have so many casinos you can go to. And let's see, also the shopping is really good in LA. You have like a lot of malls. You can go out to Glendale, you got Pasadena, you got all these different areas where have nice malls and everything. So California as a whole is really nice. It's just very expensive. So if you move, gotta have your money up and you gotta keep it going because the taxes can hit you pretty hard. And after a while, and the rent gonna hit you pretty hard. So you got to have that money flowing. You got to keep it coming in, and you got to keep it moving like that. So that's one thing you got to always be aware. Because if you don't, you're gonna end up, hey, homelessness. You end up homeless. So that's one of the things about California that is very expensive. So the housing is very expensive. To find a nice house, you at least have to be out of about, I would say, in a decent area, at least about $800,000. I mean, you can find something maybe less than that, but I don't know what area, but most of the ones I've seen that if I wanted to live in, you at least be out of 800,000 or more. So, and rents are like 2,000 to 2,500. And so you looking at and then when you if you making a income coming in, you got like 10% tax rate. If I'm remembering, it's around 10% for the state of California. So you got those taxes hitting you, state tax, federal tax, and then you talking, rent and expensive to just do a lot of things, because then you got to have extra income if you want to go out and have some of this fun that I'm talking about, like hanging out and going places and going to eat, going to casino and all that. So you got to have extra money for that. So it can get very expensive, and you can see why a lot of people will move out of the state, and in particular the Southern California area, which is Los Angeles. So going to Texas, we're gonna head to Texas now. Tell you a little about Texas. I'm familiar with the DFW area. I'm familiar with San Antonio. Familiar with Austin and Houston. And my top places for as Texas is Dallas Fort Worth and Houston. Houston, really like Houston a lot. Houston is one of my favorites because of the diversity. And Dallas Fort Worth, I like it because it's got a lot of variety with the Arlington, Texas, and the Stadium, the Cowboys, and the different sports and different stuff in the Dallas Fort Worth area. So, family, and a lot of the reasons why a lot of people move, why they got that sign, "Do not move to Texas," is they trying to keep a lot of people from moving to Texas because you're gonna get a lot of bang for your buck when you move there. I mean, you won't get this nice weather, this sun every day, and I mean, it does stay sunny, it be hot a lot, but in Texas, you got those straight thunderstorms that come in and different things of that weather. That weather plays a part of your enjoyment. When you gotta be depending on, oh, is it gonna storm today? The clouds look pretty rough. They got 50% chance of thunderstorms, and you hear the lightning and the thunder in the background, and you know it's coming. That hail and all that rain and different stuff. So weather can be a little issue, but if you can get around that, that's only around the fall and springtime, and then everything else is pretty good for us. The weather, it just gets very hot. So I can see why you would move because hey, you get a lot of bang for your buck. You got nice houses. You can get your nice house for like 300 some thousand. Be in a nice area. And then you can also, but that's for in like the Dallas Fort Worth and Houston area. But if you're Austin, you have to come up with probably about 400,000 to be in a really, a decent area. But 300,000 may get you a decent house in Houston and in San Antonio and also Dallas Fort Worth. So Texas can really give bang for your buck because you don't even have to worry about the state tax, no state tax. You just basically get your check, federal stuff, pay your federal taxes, and the rest of that, 10% you would have paid to the state of California, you only have to pay when you're in state of Texas. So you straight. So, hey, and for us, a lot of things to do. I would say Austin has a lot of things to do on the music scene, and Dallas Fort Worth has a lot to do on the sports scene. And Houston has a variety just overall. Because Houston is so diverse, they have things going on in a lot of different cultures. There, that food variety is really good. So you really got good picks in the state of Texas. Because if you're moving from, say, you move from California to Texas, and you're like, hey, what city? Which one should I move to? You got pretty, they nice one: Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth. What is it? Houston and San Antonio. You got a good selection right there. I would say that would be, any you couldn't go wrong with any of those. It's just up to you, and because you're gonna deal with different climates and depending on the city. It's like in Houston, you're gonna deal with the hurricanes coming through, so you got a little issue there for it on the negative end. So all in all, the cities that I like those two. I like Los Angeles, go out to hang out and everything, but staying there it gets very expensive. So I would go with Texas as far as living, raising a family and everything, and then head out to California to have fun, stay for the weekend, stay for a whole week or whatever, and enjoy your time while you're in LA. So that's a little thing that I was just going to talk about. Share your comments on how you feel about Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, and the area of Texas. And let me know what you think about the Los Angeles area in California in comparison, and see why you think it's a good move to make from Cali to Texas. This is Q with Mixherbs. Peace.